Hello and welcome to Cricket Happenings, dear fans, friends and subscribers. This is your host welcoming you to your regular edition of the Cricket Happenings show. In this Cricket Happenings show, well, we are going to have a look at how the one-day series ended between New Zealand and Sri Lanka. We all know that New Zealand have already won the series, but well, Sri Lanka definitely played well in the final match to actually clinch a victory, and while before they entered the tour they picked up a victory by 34 runs in the 7th one-day international which was played at Wellington, and Sri Lanka would have been pretty happy with that effort. At least they saw to it that like New Zealand were not actually taking the series in a real canter. Well, so it was 4-3. So New Zealand 4, Sri Lanka 3. That was the score line, and I'm sure Sri Lanka would be happy with that effort. In fact, Kumar Sangakarra went on to make his 21st one-day international ton, and he also, in one-day years, he created a record whereby now he's having the highest number of dismissals as a wicket-keeper in one-day international. So congratulations to Kumar Sangakarra for being the claiming a highest number of victims in one-day internationals as a wicket-keeper. Well, and the other thing, that is the most important thing which is coming up, probably we are looking at 3 hours from now, we will have the clash between India and England, which would be happening at a very pacey and bouncy WACA in Perth, as it is called. And well, let me tell you, it's a crunch game for both the teams, because it's a virtual semi-final that is going to be enacted at the WACA grounds at the Western Australian Cricket Association ground in Perth here. And well, let me tell you, you are going to have value for money. There is no doubt about that, because it's a virtual semi-final. If India win, India into the finals to play Australia. England win, England go into the finals to play Australia on Sunday. So the Carlton Tri-Series, the Carlton Tri-Series is absolutely set up right now, and one is really looking forward to that match coming up between England and India. As I said, I reckon another 3 hours from now, play would be starting at WACA in Perth, provided there's no rain. Let me have a look at the forecast. Well, the forecast says that there could be a possible shower or even a storm. So that is not good news, but the temperature is pretty high. It's 37 degrees centigrade there in Perth. Well, but first I'm going to talk about the 7th one-day international between New Zealand and Australia. Well, this is the 7th one-day international which was played at the Basin Reserve here in Wellington, and this was also the last match of the 7-match one-day series. Well, it was sorry, I said 4-3. Actually, New Zealand won the series 4-2. Well, it all started with Sri Lanka actually winning the toss and choosing to bat first. They had a debutant today in one-day internationals. His name was Dushmantha Chamira, and he's a person who bowls with lots of pace. So he was today inducted into the Sri Lankan team. And once again, we didn't see Angelo Matthews. So Angelo Matthews probably is having some injury and is being rested. Probably, in fact, I said at it was the Westpac Stadium here in Wellington. Sorry about that. So it was the Sri Lankans who actually won the toss, and they decided to actually bat first. Laido Thirumanni and Dilshan walked out to open the innings. It was a quiet start. No flourishes were there. It was a pretty steady start, but Dilshan was stroking the ball. Laido Thirumanni, both of them were probably piecing together a very good partnership. It was a decent partnership, and they were doing all the good work till such time the score reached 71, and that was the time the New Zealand bowler Corey Anderson struck by getting Thirumanni LBW for 30 or 41 balls with 4 fours. It made the score 71 for 1. Dilshan was then joined in by Sangakarra, and then there was a beautiful partnership that happened between Kumar Sangakarra and Dilshan. This took the score from 71 for 1 to 175. So 104 run partnership where Dilshan was, I would say, pretty. He was not in any hurry. He was the one who was doing the anchor's role there, Dilshan. But Kumar Sangakarra was playing his strokes with absolute perfection. He was looking absolutely buoyant, and he was really stroking the ball in a very nice manner. His timing was superb, and we saw those beautiful drives coming to the picture. Some of the flicks he used to do through the mid-wicket region was also good to see, and both of them had taken the score to 175 when everything was when Sri Lanka were looking, the innings was looking pretty rosy. But one thing that Sri Lanka were not doing was that there was not much acceleration at that time, but then slowly that was the time they realized that they need to accelerate the innings. We saw Kumar Sangakarra launch some very good boundaries of the bowling of, I think it was Mitchell McClenaghan, and then when the score reached 175, Dilshan, after doing a very good job of making 81 of 98 balls with 5 fours and 1 6, was a goner, as Tim Southee had him snapped up behind the wicket by Luke Cronchi. He was gone for 81. But Kumar Sangakarra was the only sole person who was actually making the runs. He did not get any support. He lost his major partner Mahela Jayawardene out for just 14 balls with 2 fours. And that was the time I thought New Zealand definitely got back into the game after Sri Lanka took the early initiative. And then they saw Sekurge Prasanna was LBW bowled Mills for 1. Chandimal was dismissed for 5 by Anderson of 15 deliveries. So Chandimal continued to struggle in this one-day series against New Zealand, which is not good. He has been, as you know, Dinesh Chandimal is also a part of the World Cup squad of Sri Lanka. Tisra Pereira, once again, even though he made 20 of 12 balls with 1 4 and 1 6, I thought there was more that in fact, Tisra Pereira as an all-rounder could have contributed. I think Tisra Pereira has also not done a good turn for himself, considering that he's also a part of the World Cup 2015. Kulashekara was not out on 12 of as many balls, but Kumar Sangakarra was unconquered. He reached his 21st one-day international century, which was 113 unbeaten runs of 105 balls with 14 fours, and that was what took Sri Lanka to a very good total of 287 for 6, and in the end it proved so, as Sri Lanka won the match against New Zealand they won the match by 34 runs. Looking at the bowling card as far as the Kiwi bowlers went, Kyle Mills 8 overs 1 made 1 for 42. I thought he bowled well. Tim Southee took 2 wickets for 50 runs. McClenaghan 9 overs went for 47. Daniel Vettori 8 overs was a bit costly. He conceded 52 runs of his 8. Corey Anderson also went for some runs but picked up 3 wickets in the bargain. Grant Elliott 4 overs for 24, and Kane Williamson bowled 2 overs for 11 runs. As far as the New Zealand chase was concerned, they were chasing a target of 288 runs to win the match. It all started with Martin Guptill, and as you know, Martin Guptill has been really struggling, barring that one knock that he hit probably of 60 odd runs. Other than that, New Zealand have been really struggling as far as the opening start is concerned. Now that is something that New Zealand definitely needs to address, because today it was, and Martin Guptill. Now another thing that Martin Guptill we have seen is that probably there is a sort of something happening, because in the sense Martin Guptill has always been getting out of the first ball, and that's what precisely happened, as Kulashekara really did him with some real seam movement there, as Martin Guptill of the very first ball of the innings was trapped LBW for a duck. And we also saw today Brendan McCullum was not playing, and the team was actually led by Kane Williamson. Tom Latham had opened with Martin Guptill, but Tom Latham was also dispatched to the pavilion pretty quickly, as Shaminda Aranga with some real pace saw to it that Tom Latham had to actually drag the ball onto his stumps for 6 of 9 deliveries with 1 4, which made it 11 for 2. In walked in Ross Taylor to join the captain Kane Williamson, and Ross Taylor was a victim of Dushmanta Chamira. Now Dushmanta Chamira, as I said, was making his one-day international debut yesterday, and what one saw from him is that he's raw pace. He has some real good pace, but I wouldn't say he did very well, but on his debut at least he picked up 2 wickets. First he picked up the wicket of Ross Taylor, when Ross Taylor got a ball which he actually played on to a delivery from Chamira, which went on to hit the stumps, and he was gone for 11 of 22 balls with 1-4, and Dushmantha Chamira had taken his maiden one-day international wicket, playing in his first game. So 42 for 3 at that stage, and after that, then there was a sort of some stability brought to the New Zealand innings with a partnership between Kane Williamson, the captain, and Grant Elliott, and both of them had to really play according to the needs of the game. They really needed, they really had to really settle down and play the Sri Lankan bowlers, because 3 wickets had already gone by, and then they slowly did that by putting together a partnership of 59 runs, and the score had reached the 100 mark. They were 101 for 3 at that stage, and that was the time this partnership was broken once again. This time, as I said, the one-day international debutant Dushman Chamira picked up the wicket. He picked up his second international wicket, as he he had Grant Elliott caught by Chandimal for 24 of 38 balls with 1-4, which made the score 101 for 4. And then Kane Williamson was there at the crease as Corey Anderson came in. Corey Anderson, well, he contributed a very quick 29 of just 20 deliveries with 2 4s and 2 6s, but he was a victim of the bowling of Eranga. So Kane Williamson, in fact, Kane Williamson was the Kane Williamson was the next to go. In fact, Kane Williamson had reached his 50 he had made 54 of 83 balls with 4 4s. But look at this. Now, Tilakatne Dilshan, what one was seeing is something pretty unusual, but it was something that Tilakatne Dilshan probably has been working on. What we saw here is that yesterday Dilshan produced a carom ball. Now, that was not something which he had in his repertoire, but yesterday, probably the World Cup coming in, he wanted to keep a surprise weapon with him, and yesterday it was unleashed as we saw Dilshan bowling a carom ball which was probably going down the leg side, but Williamson probably wanted to he wanted to just play it off his toes, of his legs, and what happened was that it ended up, actually Williamson thought the ball would probably turn, but none of those carom balls that Tilakatne Dilshan bowled never turned, and Williamson was a victim, and Dilshan was absolutely ecstatic, no doubt about it, that he probably was bowling his first carom ball, and that first carom ball actually netted him a wicket, as Kane Williamson, a very important wicket for Sri Lanka there, as Kane Williamson was dismissed, as he was caught a short fine leg as he top-edged the delivery from Dilshan into the hands of Jayawardene. He was gone for 54 of 83 balls with 4 4s, a job well done, but as I said, the carom ball started appearing with lots of frequency from Dilshan, and this carom ball that Dilshan bowls, well, it doesn't turn at all. It goes on straight, so it foxes the batsman. As a batsman, probably the carom ball, the person would have looked to actually looked out for the turn, and that was what precisely Kane Williamson was also looking for, but the ball never turned and kept coming straight. So it seems that Dilshan has definitely perfected the carom ball, and I think it is something which is a good thing which is going to happen for Dilshan and Sri Lanka, especially considering that the World Cup is round the corner. There might be he might surprise the opposition batsman with his style of bowling, where he has actually perfected the carom ball. So good job, Tilakatne Dilshan. So half the side was out into the pavilion at 121 for 5, and then Anderson had to come in and play a quick knock of 29, but he was a victim of the bowling of Eranga. And then after that 141 for 6, it was a situation where we have seen in this one-day series that when the chips were down, the lower middle order has definitely come to the rescue, and one suddenly saw things happening, because from 141 there was another beautiful partnership that happened, which added around 76 runs between Daniel Vettori and Lew Cronchi. Lew Cronchi was playing well, and also Daniel Vettori was collecting a lot of runs through the leg side region, hitting a lot of boundaries, and suddenly the partnership was doing a lot for New Zealand as the score had moved on past the 200 mark, and the score had reached 215, and suddenly it looked like New Zealand were definitely in with a chance with this partnership going in a very strong manner. But when things were going well, that was the time Sekubge Prasanna struck by actually clean balling Daniel Vettori for a well-made 30 balls with 6 fours, and then Kyle Mills came in and struck a few blows. But before that, Lew Cronchi was the person to be dismissed, as Kulashekara clean bowled Lew Cronchi for 47 or 42 balls with 4 fours and 1 6, and that was the time probably Sri Lanka thought that they had the match in their grasp, because after that Kyle Mills came in and he showed his abilities as an all-rounder by striking 1 6 and 2 fours in a very quick knock of 30 of 17 balls, and he was the last man out. But before that, Saudi was dismissed when he actually got an edge to a ball from Pereira into the gloves of Sangakarra. He was gone for 1, and New Zealand were all out for 253 when Kyle Mills was run out due to a misunderstanding with McClenaghan. McClenaghan was not out on 5. Kyle Mills did his bet, even with his striking a few blows, but that was not enough, as he was run out for 30 of 17 balls with 2 fours and 1 6. 253 all out, with New Zealand actually winning the match, Sri Lanka winning the match by 34 runs, and thus the one-day series between New Zealand and Sri Lanka ended with the scoreline being 4-2 in favour of New Zealand. Well, the man of the match went to Kumar Sangakarra for his 21st one-day international ton, and also for getting the maximum scalps by a wicketkeeper in one-day international. He holds the record for the maximum scalps behind the wickets for a wicketkeeper in one-day international, so it was a record which was created. And the player of the series went to Kane Williamson of New Zealand, and why not? He really played very well and reeled off I think 2 centuries, and also had 190 to his credit in this series. Now, looking at the bowling card for the Sri Lankans, Kulashekara 9 overs, no maiden, 2 for 55. Ranga 9 overs, 1 maiden, 2 for 34. I thought he bowled superbly. His bowling figures definitely reflected. Sekubge Prasanna also did a fine job of containing the batsman. 9.2 overs, no maiden, 1 for 30 for him. Dushmantha Chamira on his one-day international debut bowled 8 overs for 60 runs. Was costly, but I'm sure this is a learning curve for Dushmantha Chamira, the young pace bowler. He took 2 wickets for 60 runs. Pereira bowled 5 overs for 42. Dilshan really unveiling the carom ball at times, bowled 5 overs, no maiden, 1 for 27. So New Zealand winning the 7-match series 4-2. Now, congratulations to New Zealand. But well, now I'm going to shift the focus on to the match probably which is coming up in 2.5 hours from now, when I'm speaking at the Western Australian Cricket Association in Perth, as this is going to be the last preliminary match which is going to be played. And what a match that is going to be, because that is going to decide who is going to face Australia in the finals of the Carlton Mid-Tri Series. Well, as I said, it's a virtual semi-final, England and India. England definitely have the wood over India in this particular Tri-Series, there's no doubt about it, but India would be pretty thankful to the rain that they had a chance now to actually just get one win and get into the final. So as I said, whichever team wins goes on to the final. For England, well, things have been going well. Their bowling has been coming together very well with the combination of James Anderson, Stephen Finn. Probably Stuart Broad is the one who is really hunting for wickets now. Chris Wokes, I think James Anderson and Stephen Finn have already done a good job. The batting has been coming beautifully. The opening has been settling down very well. Ian Bell has been doing a great job. He also has a century. Moeen Ali, probably one is looking out for a very good innings from Moeen Ali, and he is definitely he has definitely shown that he has the power to hit the strokes, as he smote Patrick Cummins, the fastest bowler, for 3 sixes in a single over, and that too 3 consecutive sixes, and that is not something which comes in easy. And then James Taylor has been contributing too. Joe Root, probably he needs to get in some runs. Morgan has already signaled his form in this tournament, and then Josh Butler is also another one who could really get into some form. Now for India, Rohit Sharma is Rohit once again is not playing. That is the news we are getting. But Shikhar Dhawan is the one who is under the microscope now, because it's quite a long time that Shikhar Dhawan has not been able to deliver the goods for India, because so the opening combination is something where England will be definitely working on it. They know that Shikhar Dhawan is not in his best of form, and they would try to get his wicket early and just to put the pressure on India. They would probably be doing that. The bowlers would have probably planned something for Shikhar Dhawan, not wanting him to get into form. And Shikhar Dhawan, well, he's under definitely a lot of pressure there, because it has been a quite long time when one has seen Shikhar Dhawan get amongst the runs. So Shikhar Dhawan and Ajinkya Rahane would be opening the innings. Ambati Rayudu is slotted at number 3, so he's going to be the one who's going to come at 1 drop. And Virat Kohli also has been struggling in this one-day series, so one is also looking forward to some runs from Virat Kohli there. Suresh Raina has not been very consistent, and Mahendra Singh Dhoni himself has to lead from the front with his bat today. The bowling, well, Stuart Binney is a very good all-rounder in the mix. Ravindra Jadeja is playing. So the other day, because of rain, we didn't see 2 players. So it will be good to see the 2 new players in the Indian team. In the sense they basically were out due to injury, but one would be getting a chance to see Ravindra Jadeja, the all-rounder, and also Ishan Sharma, the pace bowler, into the mix. And it would be interesting to see how India go against England in this particular match. As I said, it's a virtual semi-final. They also have Akshar Patel. Now Akshar Patel, well, his bowling has been okay. I wouldn't really rate it pretty highly. Probably the young bloke is still learning. But one has been really surprised that Akshar Patel has not been able to get back to ball at all. He has been collecting ducks, and he has not even contributed. Akshar Patel definitely has the ability to be a good batsman too, but one has not seen his batting flower at all. Will this be the match where Akshar Patel will show something with the bat? One does not know. And then Mohammad Shami, the pace bowler who would be supporting Ishan Sharma and Stuart Binney. And Stuart Binney, as you know, he played one good innings against Australia, I reckon. That was a good innings that he played. No, against England, that was a good innings. So, well, we are definitely looking forward to the backup pitch. And backup pitch, as you know, it provides a lot of bounce and pace, and one probably might be tempted. For India, Ishan Sharma might be the key. And for England, it could be those bowlers, James Anderson, Stephen Finn, and Stuart Broad would be the key. So I have a slight feeling that England, the bowling resources are pretty strong compared to India, and it all depends. It all comes down to the match, like who wins the toss and what they do. As I said, there is a shower or storm which is forecast. One only hope that the storm stays away. And we have a very good match going on. As I said, it's a virtual semi-final, and one is really looking forward to this crunch game coming up probably in 2.5 hours time from now at the Western Australian Cricket Association Stadium in Perth between India and England, which will decide who will meet Australia in the finals of the Carlton Mid-Try Series on Sunday. Well, dear friends and subscribers, on this note, your host Ram would like to end the cricket show for today by saying a big thank you